Hi, my name is Kelly Satterwhite. I'm the managing attorney at Universal Title in Old Town, Alexandria, Virginia, and also for our Tyson's Corner, Virginia offices. I'm going to talk to you briefly here about tenancy. Tenancy is the legal relationship between two or more people who together own title to real property. There are several levels of association that you're going to have a choice to choose from, and we're going to go through those levels of association with a brief description one by one from least to greatest. So the first level of association is something we call tenants in common. Now you see this commonly when you have maybe an investment property with two owners, and the rule is if one of the two tenants in common were to pass away, that person's interest in the property passes however they've decided to have their property pass. So if they have a will and it governs their real property that they own, the will will say, oh, it goes to my children. Now, in that situation, the existing owner is now tenants in common with the children, right? Or if the other record owner passes away and they don't have a will, it'll go to their heirs at law. You know, if they're married, now the other record owner is tenants in common with the surviving spouse. So the next level of association would be joint tenants. Joint tenancy comes with what we call the common law right of survivorship. And what that means is if one of the two record owners were to pass away, the other one is automatically the sole owner of the property by operation of law. And all that person needs to do to prove that they're the owner of the property is to have a death certificate or some other proof that the other joint tenant has passed away. You see this option in a couple situations commonly. Number one, if you have long-term partners who are not married, they definitely still want that relationship where the other partner would have title of the property if one of the two were to pass. And another situation where we commonly see this is if you have parents who help a child purchase a piece of property and they want the child to have it, but they want to stay on title during the child's lifetime, they can hold title with their child as joint tenants with the right of survivorship. And then when the parents pass away, the child will be the sole owner of the property, right? Then the last level is something we call tenants by the entirety. Tenants by the entirety is only reserved for married couples, and it comes like joint tenants with the common law right of survivorship. So if you have a married couple who owns property, one of the two passes away, the other is automatically the sole owner of the property by operation of law. But tenancy by the entirety comes with an additional protection against creditors, and the rule is the creditors of one of the two debtor spouses cannot reach the property if it's held in a tenancy by the entirety. And what that means in layman's terms is if you have a husband and wife on title of property, husband takes out a credit card, runs it up, doesn't pay it off. Eventually that credit card company is going to go to the court in that jurisdiction, try to get a judgment against one of the two owners, against the husband. And once they have that judgment, they can ask the court to seize and sell any property that husband has to try to satisfy that judgment, right? Well, if it's only one of the two spouses on title, on the debt, and the property is held in a tenancy by the entirety, the creditor can't reach the property. They can't go and take your house, right? So that's an important protection against creditors. That's, again, only for married couples. And after settlement, a lot of times we have one more question is, you have a couple who's not yet married, but they're buying a house, they plan to be married after settlement. We can change the tenancy by deed of gift as long as no money's changing hands, there'll be no transfer taxes. So if you want to change from joint tenants to tenancy by the entirety, we can certainly do that. And I think that's a good overview of tenancy.